to stretches for shoulders, all you need for today is a strap, because we're going to get really into the different ranges of our shoulders. So let's start off by just coming into a comfortable seat, whether you want to sit on your shins or cross-legged position. Just wherever you feel like you'd stay here for a couple of minutes. And I want you to just really isolate the movement here in the shoulders by rolling them forward and then up towards your ears. And as you draw them back, I want you to imagine there's a piece of paper in between your shoulder blade tips. And you're trying to squeeze that piece of paper and then release when you come all the way down. And just do this for a few rounds, moving mindfully. And really trying to get into the different ranges of your shoulders. Right, so coming up really high up towards the ears, rolling them back, and then coming back down. And then switch the directions. So when you go back, draw the shoulder blade tips together, roll them up, forward, and then down. You can also do this for a few rounds. The entire time you're sitting up tall. And really just try to isolate the movements just in the shoulders. Excellent. Now coming into a little bit of the back of the shoulders, so broadening, you're either going to come across the arm with the right arm across, left arm hooking like a 4 essentially, or if you can, left arm under the right, either back of the hands together or palms together. So this is also known as Eagle Arms Garudasana. So from the side, you want to feel the back of your shoulders broadening. Right, everything coming through center. You're going to lift your elbows and forearms away from your face. Just really feel how open and spacious your upper back feels here. With your right arm across, you could gently begin to lean the arms to your right. So only think of the action happening from the elbows here. So you're not moving everything to the right. Everything else stays in the center, just your forearms. And then come back through center, release. And then switch. So you're either going to have the left arm across, making that figure 4, or try to hook the elbows on top of one another, back of the hands together, or palms facing towards one another and together. Lifting the elbows up, forearms away from the face, almost like you're tilting it forward. You could either stay here or maybe tilt your forearms over to the left. So I feel it really in this left shoulder here, so be mindful. No need to force or kind of yank anything into place. Especially with the shoulders, they are a really mobile part of our body, but as well, their stability is not as stable as our hips essentially. Come up back through center, and then release the arms. Shake it out if you like. And then let's come up to stand, grabbing our strap here. We're going to come into one of my favorite things to do is called shoulder flossing. So I recommend grabbing, if you have a strap, the buckle end in one hand and the other end in the other hand. So make sure your wrists are neutral the entire time, that they're not breaking this way or that way. Right? And then I just want you to inhale, come up, and then over. And then when you come over, make sure you're not bending your elbows and just kind of fidgeting your way back. I want you to think of keeping everything in one straight line. So you're just going to inhale, lift up, and if this is your edge right here, I just want you to stay here, breathe into that space, breathe into the part of the body that feels tight, and then come back forward. So think of your arms in one line as you make your way back, and as you make your way forward here. So legs are active. Feel your kneecaps lift. Feel your quads engaged. Keep that. Feel your back of the legs also engaged. The hamstrings here. Outer hips firm. And continue to breathe. Let's just do this few more rounds, coming up and over. Even begin to notice if one side feels a little bit more accessible than the other. If one side feels easier, feels more open. And then release the strap down by your side. So we're going to come into a little bit of a side stretch, but also the back of our arms here. I want you to reach your left arm up, bend your elbow. Take your right hand, I just want you to even snuggle that arm behind so your head is leaning back into that arm. You can do this with the feet together or feet apart, you choose. And then just tip your torso to the right. So lean your head back gently into that left arm. Inhale, come back up, and we'll switch. Reach the arms up, bend your right elbow, grab a hold of that elbow, snuggle it behind your head a little bit, and then tip your torso to the left. Feel that long side body stretch. It feels so good, especially after a long day of sitting. Inhale, come back up, reach the arms up, and then release the arms down by your sides. So coming down to our mat now, we're going to get a little bit more into the inner part of our shoulder and also in our upper arm as well. So you're going to stretch your right arm out to the side. And then palm facing up is a little bit more accessible, or you can do this palm facing down. So I recommend palm facing up, especially if you feel like you're not as flexible. Just come with the palm facing up. You're going to turn your head to the left. Check in. This might be where you're at today. Stay here. Or slowly, you're going to open up onto your right hip to the left. And then check in. You can either keep the legs stacked together, maybe bring this top leg behind you, and if you're open enough, you could plant that left foot down. You could even circle the left arm up and over, coming into a half bind, just resting that hand onto your low back. If you want a little bit more, what you can do is hands interlaced or getting close to it. Keeping the head and neck relaxed so they're not up and lifted. They're making contact with the ground still. But notice if you find the clasp and then your arm starts trailing down, just release the clasp and try to keep your wrist in line with your shoulder. Feel the opening and broadening of the front chest, of the shoulders. Release, and then make your way out. And then we'll switch to the other side. So extend your left arm out to the side. Again, either palm facing down or up. Turn your head to the right. And then slowly roll onto your outer left hip. Right arm either comes into a half bind, or you can continue resting it right in front of your face for support. Or you could circle this arm back and then try to find your fingertips. Or not, you can always do this with the strap as well. Now if you're feeling really open, what you can also do is plant both feet flat on the ground here. But make sure that you're not resisting, right? That your arms don't feel really tight or feel like there's a lot of tension. Breathe your way into those muscles around your arms, your upper arms, your shoulders. And just allow the breath to do the magic. Unclasp the hands. Make your way back through center. And then slowly push yourself back up onto your seat. So those are just some of my go-to poses for getting a shoulder stretch. Kind of get into different ranges, right? So with the shoulder flossing, with the front of the chest, with the back of the upper body. And these are just ways of just helping me feel good, especially in this part of the body after being in front of my phone all day, or my computer, or even driving, or maybe cycling as well. So even if you don't come into the full expression in terms of like finding the hands clasp or going to that full range of motion, that is totally okay. Know that you'll get there someday. This is just good information for you to collect and for you to research right now, just to see where you are in the different ranges of motion with the shoulders. So have fun practicing, and I will see you next time.